I bought my dream house on the coast for one reason: private beach access. Every morning, I would sip my coffee on the back deck, walk down the stone path I built myself, and enjoy the peaceful shoreline with only the sound of waves and gulls for company. It was perfect until one morning that peace shattered. The mug slipped from my hand and crashed onto the deck as I stared in disbelief. Nearly 24 strangers were strolling down my beach path like they owned the place. Leading them was a woman I didn't recognize, her platinum hair bouncing as she gestured and narrated like some seaside tour guide. "This beautiful walkway now provides Seabreeze Hollow residents with direct beach access," she announced proudly. "The HOA has officially opened it from 8 a.m. to sunset daily." I blinked, stunned. For 5 years, that path had been mine, paid for, maintained, and cherished. It was the reason I chose this house, the one feature I couldn't compromise on. Now, out of nowhere, the HOA was saying it belonged to everyone? I bolted down the deck stairs and called out, "Excuse me, this is private property." The group stopped, some looking surprised, others just annoyed. The woman turned, her smile tightening into something performative. "Good morning. We haven't met. I am Marlene Whitaker, the new HOA president." She extended a hand like we were at a cookout, not mid-invasion. "We're just showing the neighborhood's amenities. This path is a fantastic new feature." "It's not a feature," I replied, trying to stay calm. "It's on my property. I have the deed to prove it." Marlene laughed lightly and turned to the group with a "Can you believe this" look. "The beach access has always been communal. Perhaps you misunderstood when you purchased the house." Someone in the back chimed in, "We've been using this path for years." "No, you haven't," I shot back. "No one did because it didn't exist. I built it after buying this house." Unbothered, Marlene waved a dismissive hand. "The board formalized the access recently. We even installed signage." That's when I saw it. A brand new wooden sign planted at the entrance: "Seabreeze Hollow Residence Beach Access, 8 a.m. to sunset." I was livid. "You installed that on my land without asking." "I never gave consent. You can't just decide my private path is public." Her friendly facade slipped. The board vote was unanimous. "If you have concerns, feel free to submit them in writing for the next HOA meeting in 3 weeks." And just like that, she turned back to the group. "Let's continue to the beach. I'll show you where the new picnic area will go." I stood there, fuming as they disappeared down my path. That afternoon, I tore through my home office, hunting for my property documents. Sure enough, the survey map clearly showed the path was within my lot, stretching right to the high water mark. No easement, no public right-of-way, nothing. I took photos of the sign, then checked my security footage. There they were, Marlene and 2 men installing the sign at 6:30 a.m., obviously hoping I wouldn't catch them. The next morning, I took the sign down and leaned it against my garage. By noon, the doorbell rang. It was Tyler Henson, HOA vice president, looking sheepish. "Hey, we got reports the beach sign was removed," he began. "Marlene asked me to check." I invited him in and laid my documents out on the dining table. "This path is mine. The HOA never asked before declaring it communal or putting up signs." He studied the survey, frowning. "These look solid, but Marlene showed us different documents. She claimed there's always been a community easement here." "That's just not true," I said. "Did anyone verify that with county records?" Tyler hesitated. "Diane Marlin handled that herself. She joined the board 6 months ago, became president last month. She's been ambitious." "I've lived here 5 years," I said. "If there was an easement, it would have come up in escrow." Tyler sighed. "I'll bring this up with the board. But, just so you know, Marlene already promoted the beach access in the newsletter. People are excited. Excited to use my land." After he left, I checked the HOA website. They're at Wasami Path featured on the homepage. Exciting news. Seabreeze Hollow now has direct beach access. A photo showed my walkway, dressed up with string lights and torches that definitely weren't mine. Then came the real kicker: join us this Saturday for a beach path celebration. Refreshments provided. They were planning a party on my land. That evening, my neighbor Jenna texted me. "Did you know your path is being discussed at the HOA meeting tonight? They're voting on $15,000 improvements." I grabbed my documents and rushed to the community center. Marlene was at the podium presenting slides of my beach path with mock-ups of benches, lighting, even a deck. With just a small investment, she said, we can transform this into a community gem. I marched up front. Excuse me. This path is on my private property. No one has my permission to use it, let alone build on it. The room went quiet. Marlene's smile was strained. Maybe we should discuss this privately. I think everyone should hear it, I said, holding up my survey. Any improvements are unauthorized. This is trespassing. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Marlene pushed back. Let's not get legal just yet. Our HOA records have been tampered with, I interrupted. I'm happy to show anyone the county-verified documents. Several people came up to see. Marlene called a recess and pulled me into a side room. You're making this a bigger deal than it is, she hissed. This benefits everyone, including you. The previous owner didn't even build the path, I replied. I did. With my money. She leaned in. Let's see what our lawyer says. In the meantime, don't remove any more signs. As she stormed off, I spotted a folder she'd left behind. I opened it and froze. It was a glossy brochure. Seabreeze Hollow Paradise Living with Private Beach Access. It advertised new homes, not even built yet, featuring my beach path as a selling point. Now it all made sense. The next morning, she returned with 2 HOA members and a folder. We're reinstalling the sign. You're violating HOA rules. You installed it on my property, I replied. That's trespassing. She shoved papers into my hands. This easement has existed since 1997. The map was crude. The date smudged. This doesn't match my official survey, I said. I'm verifying it with the county. That won't be necessary, she snapped. Unless you want to face daily fines. I called my friend Mason, a real estate attorney. He told me not to let them touch a thing and to send him all the documents. That afternoon, a construction crew showed up. Marlene stood nearby with a developer in a tailored suit. What is this? I demanded. Meet Travis from Horizon Developments, she said. They're improving beach access. On my property? I didn't authorize this. Travis looked uncomfortable. I was told it was community land. You were misinformed, I replied, filming everything. Marlene snapped. You can't record board members. This isn't a meeting, I said. This is my property. Travis backed off. Let's pause until we verify ownership. Later that day, Tyler returned with an elderly woman, Mrs. Lopez, a longtime resident. I've lived here since the 80s, she said. There was never a beach access planned here. It was supposed to be 2 blocks south, but erosion killed the project. She showed me original community maps, no easement. Tyler looked shaken. Our records archivist couldn't find anything either, he admitted. But Marlene requested access to the files last month, was in there alone for hours. That night, Mason called. County records confirm no easement on your property. That document she gave you is fake. The next morning, I got a letter from Whitaker Legal Consulting, Marlene's husband's firm. It threatened me with legal action if I didn't remove my signs and allow construction. That same day, a protest began on my front lawn. Marlene with a megaphone yelling community rights over private greed, while a news crew filmed. Mason called again. I found something big. Marlene and her husband tried to buy your house before you did. Their offer was rejected. And he works for Horizon Developments, I whispered. Exactly. It wasn't about beach access. It was a scheme to grab my property for a massive development project. From there, everything snowballed: illegal construction, backroom meetings, doctored records. I hired attorney Sarah Liu, a no-nonsense lawyer with a record of dismantling corrupt HOAs. She uncovered everything. Fake permits. $80,000 in HOA funds funneled into what was actually a private beach cabana for Marlene. Her husband's company needed my land to connect their new luxury condo development. We filed for an injunction. The judge stopped all construction. At the emergency HOA meeting, Sarah revealed it all: property surveys, financial records, development plans. The room erupted. Marlene tried to adjourn the meeting, but it was too late. Neighbors turned on her. Board members resigned. A new vote was called. She and her husband were arrested trying to flee the country. FBI agents discovered over $2 million in stolen HOA funds in offshore accounts. 6 months later, the HOA was rebuilt from scratch. I offered a compromise: limited daylight access through a gate, maintained by the HOA. The neighborhood supported it unanimously. The best part? Marlene's beachfront mansion, bought with stolen funds, was seized and turned into our new community center. As I walked my path now legally marked private property, limited community access, I felt peace again. A news alert popped up, former HOA president sentenced to 15 years. Guess she finally learned what it means to respect private property in a very different kind of gated community.